Welcome to our travel segment of Mid Morning Talk with Najma Kota. Today, it's Zambia, the land of the legendary African walking safari. Victoria Falls, the wild Zambezi River, abundant wildlife and raw wilderness, all in one friendly country. Blessed with awe-inspiring natural wonders and abundance of wildlife, huge water bodies and vast open spaces. Zambia offers unforgettable holidays exploring the real Africa. And to talk to us about it is our very special guest talking to us live from Zambia, Sulaymaan Sakala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
I apologize for that slight delay. We just had a bit of a technical hitch here. So as I was reading out, I'm sure you've heard my introduction on Zambia and this beautiful destination. So can you describe to us the culture, language, and heritage of the country?
Shukran jazakan. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa salatu wa salamu Rasulullah. Zambia is a land-linked country which is surrounded by other countries. We have Tanzania, Congo DR, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and Malawi. Then the country itself, it has a population of about 20 million, or roughly 19.6 million people, whereby you find 70% of the population are the indigenous Zambians.
Right.
And then the 30% we're talking about other races. Coming to the culture, Zambia has a diversity, or it has a lot of cultures and languages, and has a lot of dialects. Initially in Zambia, you find that the culture, the young ones greet the elders. And traditionally, it is where you find somebody who drop one knee, or who bow the head, or the person is going to clap three times, so not 3 hands, 3 times. And then you say, sometimes you find the saying is depending on all the tribes of Zambia. You will speak respective words to respect the elders, and the young ones will always respect the elders. Then when it comes to the same culture, we are talking about two things, where you have the material culture, there are physical things that are produced by the society. Right. And you have non-material cultures, things that are tangible, or things that are produced by the society. Then, when we come to language, Zambia has English as the official language.
Right.
Because the traditionally or indigenous languages, there are 73 languages spoken in the country.
Sure.
Whereby you have the major 7 ones, the big ones. Where you have the Nyanja, Demba, Tonga, Lozi, Luvale, Kaonde, and Lunda. These are the 7 big tribes. And the others, they are dialects of the same tribes. Then you find that in the country, Bemba is the one which is highly spoken, which is about 35% of the people speak Bemba. Then followed by Nyanja, you have about 25%, about 20%, sorry. Then you have Tonga, which is about 12%. Then you have Lozi, which is about 6%. Then the remaining 27% is covered by the Luvale, Kaonde, and the Lunda people. When it comes to the heritage, find that Zambia has more than 40,000 sites, which are both historical, architectural, and buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the major heritage sites in the country, you have the Dagama Shot. This is the memorial site which is found in Dola, in a place called Chichele Plantation, where the plane of the UN Secretary General had crashed. If you have heard of that, yes. The plane crashed, and the UN Secretary General at that time died there, and there is a memorial monument. Then we have the Cathedral of the Holy Cross, which is right up in Lusaka. And we have the Shiwangandu, the plantation, or the Shiwangandu landmark. These are the plains of waters. Then you have the Chilenge House, the historical house. The Chilenge House, this is the first house for our first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Whenever you mention Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, people will always tell you about the Chilenge House, where he used to live.
Okay.
Then we have the Jamia Mosque, which is Jamia Mosque, which is in Lusaka, in Kamala. Then you have the St. Ignatius Church in Lusaka also. You have the Freedom Statue Monument, which is in Lusaka also. You have the Mwelu or Mwela rock paintings. These were done by the Bushmen in the olden days in the Stone Age. Then you have the Chirundu Fossils. Then you have the Kalambo Falls. This is the pre-historical settlement where the settlers, people were settled there. You have the Zambezi river source, where the Zambezi River starts from. And then you have the Barose cultural landscapes. These are some of the heritage sites that we have in the country.
Sounds very interesting.
There are too many.
Right. In terms of the Muslim heritage and Muslim population in Zambia, is there, well, you mentioned the Jame Mosque, which means that there is a rich culture there as well of Muslims. Is there something, the history that we can actually talk about in terms of just Muslims settling in Zambia, or were they always there?
Sorry, you're breaking, sorry.
I was talking about Muslim heritage in Zambia.
Yes. The Muslim heritage, yes, the Jamia Mosque.
Right. And then were the Muslim population there before, or, has the population increased now?
The Muslim population is terribly increasing. You can know this by the number of masajid that are being constructed around the country and the city. Mostly, if you come to Lusaka, I think near every street in Lusaka, you get an Ibadat Khana. And if you go to locations, you get in every location at least you get 2 masajid.
Right. Okay, so after the break, we talk about the festivals in Zambia and, of course, those beautiful attractions and much more.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Once again, winter has made itself known in the Syrian and Palestinian refugee camps in Lebanon as well as Afghanistan. Thousands are left to face this bitterly cold season of rain, flooding and snowy conditions. Africa Muslims agencies on the ground empowering families with winter rescue kits. Assist and sponsor a winter rescue kit for only 3,500 Rand per family. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, commemorating 35 years of empowering, educating, inspiring.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albait has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaitlodge.co.za.
Give charity without delay, for it stands in the way of calamities. For child-headed households in Bloemendal in the Eastern Cape, the daily diet consists of white bread and a carton of cheap juice or sugar water, known locally as the poppy water diet. Make a difference to that one child or family. The Al-Fida Foundation has over the past 13 years worked on the ground and gathered the largest database in the Eastern Cape region of Muslim zakah recipients. Phone our offices at 041 484 1288 or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al-Fida Foundation, your social investment partner in the Eastern Cape.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
We're speaking to our very special guest, Sulaymaan Sakala, live from Zambia in our travel segment today. And there's just so much to talk about. And we shouldn't be surprised, but maybe somewhat surprised that there's so much, in fact, to see and do in this beautiful country. So if we talk about the festivals and touring, of course, the Victoria Falls and the wildlife, the safaris, etc., what can you expand on in terms of making this a truly great experience when one visits Zambia?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When it comes to the festivals that are celebrated in Zambia, as I said from the beginning, that Zambia has many tribes. So we have some of the festivals that are very common or that are very popular in our country. For example, we have Sala ceremony. This is celebrated by the Ngoni people of Chipata in the eastern side of the country. It marks the harvest of the first fruits of the season. Then we have the popular Kuomboka ceremony, which is the movement of the Lozo people from one place to the other in the plains of water. That is in the western side of the country. Then we have the Mtomboka ceremony. This is also celebrated by the Lunda people of Luapula, which is a region of Zambia. And we have the Kulamba ceremony or Kulamba festival. It is celebrated by the Chewa people of the place called Katete, which draws the Chewa tribes or the Chewa people from Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. They all come together under one chief, which is the Chief Undi, the paramount chief. Then we have Lukumbi Riamize, we have Shimunenga, then we have the Livingstone Culture and Festival. This is whereby all culture or all festivals of the country are being shown to the tourists who come to Livingstone near the Victoria Falls.
Right.
Then in terms of the tourist attractions, apart from the Victoria Falls, which is well known across the world, Zambia has a lot of national parks. So some of these national parks, we are talking about the Lower Zambezi National Park, is along the Zambezi River. We have the South and North Ruangwa National Park, which is along Ruangwa River. We have the Kafue National Park, which is along Kafue River. Then we have the Moso-Tunya National Park, which is the park which surrounds the Victoria Falls. The Victoria Falls itself, it has a national park around it. Then we have the Saka National Museum, which is another tourist attraction.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Blue Lagoon National Park. Not forgetting the Kariba Dam itself in Tiavonga or Lake Kariba.
Correct. Yes.
Then we have Livingstone Museum in Livingstone itself near the Victoria Falls there, where you find the things that Livingstone used, David Livingstone used in those days when he went to see the Victoria Falls.
Okay.
We have the Liuwa National Park in the plains of the Zambezi River. Then we have the Zambezi River source itself, where the Zambezi started from, in northwestern province. Then we have a plunge in what is called the Devil Pool. Then you have the bungee jumping. Then you can also have shopping at Lusaka Market. We have a market, a popular market called Soweto, southwestern town named from South African Soweto. It's a very big market. They say you have never been to Lusaka, you have never been to Soweto Market.
Uh-huh.
Then when it comes to be a tourist, in terms of transport, when you are a tourist in the country, there are three forms of transport that can take you direct to the national park. You can fly direct to the national park,
Mm-hmm.
or you can use a 4x4, these 4x4 vehicles, or you can use public transport.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the best in terms of transport, you can use the dial-up cabs. These are very safe. For example, we have Yango, which is a very popular one, just coming, and we have Orlando. These are dial-up cabs where you can get their apps on the phone and you can dial.
Mm-hmm.
Then on public transport, it's the cheapest. It's very, very cheap to travel by public transport, and it's the safest in terms of traveling. Then, when we talk about the safety in terms of transport,
Yes.
what one needs to do is you plan your trip in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And once you plan your trip in advance, you must know your exit, where you're going to disembark from.
Right.
You have to stay where people are. Where you find there are people, that's where you should stay. You become very safe. You have always to use licensed cabs. Of course, it's normal in every African country or in every country you find the pirated taxis, but you use the pirated cabs, but it's better you use the licensed one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you keep your valuables always in the bag. And you must trust your instinct. You trust yourself, what you want to do, you trust it. When you spot something that is suspicious, please, you don't hesitate, you report to the police, and they will really help you.
Okay.
When it comes to the local interaction, the local people feel part and parcel of the tourists. And if you want to know more about sites, it's better you interact with the local people.
Locals, absolutely.
They explain more in detail about that particular area
Right.
that you're visiting.
Right. And then is it budget
In
friendly?
terms of...
Yeah?
Sorry?
No, go ahead.
When it comes to finances, how you can spend your money, I think Zambia is one of the places that is not highly advertised international-wise. But once somebody knows or somebody comes to know the information about Zambia, it is one of the cheapest places to be, whereby someone spends roughly about $31 per day in terms of expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
Then you find the person must have an extra income in case you want to have, because you will pay for sightseeing, or maybe you want to shop around the hotel, or you want to use other means of transport, meaning you have a budget that is going to be a user-friendly budget. And it is recommended, or it is a good thing if a tourist to move in a group, because one or alone or an individual, it becomes a bit expensive. But once you are a group tour or a group package, they are always okay. And you find that the expenditure becomes very less when you're in a group. Even bookings are lower than when you are alone.
Right.
When you make a list, or you find out which places you want to visit, because that is going to help you in the budgeting. You become realistic in the way that how we're going to budget your things. Then spending habits, you should at least minimize spending, because you have a lot of things that you attract you to buy or attract you to get, because we have a lot of things as a country that we can offer.
Yes. And what
Then
is
when
the,
it
what
comes
is,
to food,
okay, now go ahead. Yes, food.
when it comes to our own local food, any Zambian will tell you that I haven't eaten it every day in Shima. Shima, which is a thick porridge or made from flour, maize flour. Then this usually goes with Zinkubala, which is known as the caterpillar, or Mopani worms. People love Mopani worms or love caterpillar. Then we have also the traditional food, which is chikanda. They call it chikanda, or African polony. They call it African polony. Then you have ifisashi. The ifisashi, this is the food that is prepared from peanut. You crush the peanut, you mix with the vegetables. The peanut powder, you cook with the vegetable. The fish is always available in Zambia. It's one of the things that is edible.
Is halal food available? Sorry,
Sorry?
I just want to. Is halal food available?
Halal food is very much available, and we have the Zamha, which is you only sell halal food once you get a certificate from them. And all Muslims across the country, they know, even non-Muslims, they know that if there is no logo for Zamha, Muslims will not buy. It's very, very much available.
Right. Well, Sulaymaan, you've made us very, very excited about visiting this beautiful country. I think the information you've shared with us is extremely useful. I definitely didn't know some of the things you mentioned about Zambia. And of course, it's friendly people, because it's always that makes the visit that much more, enjoyable. So, and I can hear from your voice that being part of that culture and community, it must be really wonderful to interact with the locals in Zambia, apart from the beautiful nature and wildlife that you have to share. Thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we'll all visit Zambia soon.
Please, you are very, very welcome. If there's a country where you can move freely without looking left, right, front, back, it's Zambia.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah.